good, peaceful, healthy, and prosperous where you are, whatever you do. If you happen to be trading Bitcoin, well, you. If you're making gains, if not, well, hope you stop and learn to trade better and only trade when you see a logical and no-brainer occurrence of opportunity, like a fat tail outlier on variance, or a trending move on entropy, or when the AVRs are telling you it's definitely going this way or that way. So, what is it like right now trading Bitcoin in the heart of the war and Feast of the Tabernacles, the holiday also known as Sukkot in Hebrew? Right? Well, right now I am in Israel, and it certainly is a time of a lot of war stuff happening, obviously, if you've been following the news at all, what's been going on in the region. Basically, it doesn't leave you a lot of time to sit in very long-lasting trades as a scalper, right? As you know, I like to trade low time frames, and when you have to head to a secure room because of incoming ordnance like rockets and mortars, missiles, drones, God knows what else, then you don't really want to sit in a trade while you're doing that. And even when I'm going to a room where I happen to have a computer, or I'm doing trading, because of obviously responsibilities, I can't be sitting there with my trades open while I'm just making sure everybody else there is okay. And because you really shouldn't be, when you're an adult anyway, you shouldn't be ignoring the obvious potential risks, even though you don't want to dwell on it. But when you're responsible for other people, you need to be especially situationally aware. Let's just put it that way. Right? You want to be not ignoring those around you. Make sure that they're okay. First and foremost, make sure that they're physically okay, mentally okay, emotionally okay, all that stuff. Make sure they're okay, that they're calm, and maybe that they have something to do if you happen to be like at home or in a place that you are frequently, or even if not, that you have something with you for them. Right? Obviously, I'm referring to like for kids or even teenagers or whatever. You want to have something there to let them pass the time, whether that be a phone or a tablet. That's obviously a common thing these days, but it can also be a game like chess or checkers or card games. Right? I find the analog pastimes to be much better to do, frankly. Maybe because I grew up playing those things, because obviously as a kid we didn't have tablets and smartphones. We imagined them, right, but we didn't have them. So if any of you have ever been Bob Fulton and his terrific time machine, then you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that he had a smart calculator kind of computer device in his pocket. If you ever read that book, which is a fantastic kids book. I think I read that back in like the early 80s or something like that. I first read it then, obviously. Must have read it at least once or twice after that. But a fantastic book, full of wonderful imagination. And that's another thing to do when you spend time in a secure room, is have some books, right? Things to pass the time. Books. And why do I say to pass the time? Well, because you don't know if you're going to be in there for 10 minutes or a half an hour or a day. There are times when you spend a good chunk of a day inside. And I remember back in, it must have been 2006 or something like that, when the Hezbollah in the north in Lebanon were shooting many thousands of rockets in the northern area of the country. And there were people who didn't have secure rooms in their homes who were quite literally living in those shelters outside of their homes for days at a time, right? In some cases, they stayed more than a week at a time. And I can tell you that many people in the north of Israel in recent weeks and months had been saying that they had expected that if and when Hezbollah would start to launch a full-on war with Israel, that we would be expecting something like 3,000 rockets a day in the north of Israel. Okay, just to give you a sense of how many those people apparently were reported to have, like a stockpile of more than 150,000. And apparently, despite still having a sizable stockpile of rockets and missiles and things, they still have apparently like probably still north of 100,000, which is a massive amount. Apparently, the Israeli army has been destroying a lot of them, finding a bunch, capturing a bunch. Some of them apparently still wrapped in literally the plastic from the manufacturer, aka Russia and Iran, from whom they've been receiving these things. And yes, that's Russia, as in Vladimir Putin's Russia, has been apparently directly either selling directly to them or more likely selling those things to Iran, who has been basically regifting them, if you will, to Hezbollah directly, right in the Russian packaging from the manufacturer. Like no kidding. Right? The Israeli soldiers have found them and recorded a whole bunch of them, and obviously destroyed a whole bunch of them. I don't know if they just. I'm guessing they don't destroy all of them because they want to do whatever they do to ordnance that they can capture, at least temporarily. But yeah, it's a very ugly situation for the soldiers who have to go and do all that, and also frankly for the people who live here in the north of Israel, and the people who live in the south of Lebanon, who are not terrorists, or who are just regular people living, whose homes happen to be based south of the Litani River, who are now basically all evacuated because the UNIFIL has done nothing to get those Hezbollah people away, which is what they're supposed to do according to their UN Resolution 1701, and they've never fulfilled that obligation since 2006. And so now it's up to the IDF to do it. So when you hear people saying, oh, the IDF is doing all these terrible things to UNIFIL, no, UNIFIL has done nothing that it's supposed to do, ever, pretty much, but specifically since the 1701, Resolution 1701 was passed and agreed to by the belligerent parties, right, Israel and Hezbollah and Lebanon and all that. They've never fulfilled their obligation. They've never kept Hezbollah away from the area of Lebanon south of the Litani River. And that's the main number one thing they have to do. They're supposed to keep Hezbollah and all of its assets north of the Litani River. They never did. So now it's really up to Israel to do it, unfortunately. And it's a terrible situation. And what does that mean? It means, again, that hopefully peace will come sooner rather than later. That's what it means. And what does it mean as a trader? Well, as a Bitcoin trader, it means the same as it always means. Doesn't matter if there's war or peace. Take your profits early and often. Limit your losses. And don't be emotionally attached to your trades. So once again, if you want to trade the VEPs, right, it's a better way to trade than trading traditional Voodoo TA, which is designed to fail on you. Then the thing to do is to come into the Alpha Trading Discord at alphatradinghq.com/discord. Again, that's alphatradinghq.com/discord. Go to the request support channel, click on create a ticket. There's a little button there called create a ticket. You do that, and then you just say you want your free access to the volatility starter pack of indicators, and you let us know your trading view username so that we can hook you up with those indicators and the chart that goes along with it, and all the educational information you need, plus access to the traders in real time. And you can join us on the live streams. And again, the live streams happen Monday through Friday, starting at 9 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And you can ask for any particular asset you want to see charted with our tools, and you can see our analysis of it, and you can obviously learn from what we do, how we do it, why we trade the way we trade with the tools we use and the methods we use. Right? There's a reason that statistically we have an edge over other traders. It's because we have the VEPS tools, and they're the best VEPS tools available, especially if you're a retail trader, which, well, there's every probability that you're a retail trader, right? Unless you're not, in which case, congratulations. And if you have access to similar tools, I'd sure love to know what they are. If they're not similar to what we already have, which I bet they are, because those are the highly relevant maths that actually are used by the HFT firms and the so-called smart money that use those informations to trade and to run the markets. So there you go, folks. That's it for now. If you want to learn a better way to trade, come to the Alpha Trading Discord, and hopefully we'll see you in the live stream or just in the Discord, and you'll learn a better way to trade. All right, folks, stay safe. Happy trading. Cheers.